Hello, my family, greet you. Welcome to another new Chosen of the Church with your brother Joseph. So we are all aware of what's happening, what actually transpired between President Trump and President Zelensky when they actually had a squabble and all those things. So we'll be addressing this, but before that, let's take you back, and I want you to listen to what Prophet Angel said about what is to happen in 2025.
So you're going to see a whole lot of emergence of new media houses using social media, social platforms, just encouraging the truth being spoken, the truth being injected, the truth being injected. Are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, when it comes to Russia and Ukraine war, I saw a depletion of resources as one of the main things that will get them to want to talk. Depletion of resources. Where this country that was supplying this says, no, I'm not supplying anymore. Whatever you were using to kill that, I'm not doing it. Unless you agree with this. Wow. So from there, they will also start some small pockets of, let's stop for now so that we discuss this. Let's stop for now so we can discuss this. Then it starts again. Then he says, okay, now after it is done like this, depletion of resources will cause them to want to finish it. Wow. I don't know if you're getting this. Are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
When it comes to President Trump, it is the same call that I gave you. Let's pray for President Trump. Because those who want him to end have not stopped. And I saw meeting with Jundas, people sitting down, trying to see how they can limit his power, reduce his power. But if it fails, they are still on the same passage to try to drop him. That's what they are doing right now, to cause chaos everywhere so that it will be very difficult for him to govern.
So you heard that, my family. So in light of that prophecy, there are now talks that actually transpired on the 28th of February 2025, where we had this little squabble between Trump and Zelensky. And I just want you to listen to this.
You think you're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's back to you. Far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once this entire meeting? No, in this entire meeting, have you said thank you? You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you
He's
can...
not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country is in big trouble.
Can I answer?
Wait a minute. No, you've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning. You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of us.
Mr. President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
you haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet.
You haven't been alone. We gave you, through this stupid president, $350 billion.
We
gave you military equipment, and your men are brave, but they had to use our military. If you didn't have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3 days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days. This is something
maybe
new.
Less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this.
Again, just say thank you.
Said a lot of
accept that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on. I think it's very important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the cards. You're buried there. Your people are dying. You're running low on soldiers. Listen, you're running low on soldiers. It would be a damn good thing. And then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go, and I want this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're saying you don't want a ceasefire.
I said to you,
I want a ceasefire.
With guarantees.
Because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't with me. That wasn't with me. That was with a guy named Biden, who was not a smart person. That was with Obama.
It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is, Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful. Because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards.
So I just shared the prophecy from Prophet Angel with you so that you actually get this at the back of your mind when these talks actually start, given that the talks have actually started happening, and also when we also start having fruitful discussions. Because according to Pastor Chris, President Zelensky is going to finally agree to what is being discussed. So let's listen to what Pastor Chris has to say. And I'll mention the next one as always. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. God bless you.
Use a few seconds to call your friends, your relatives, call those you know, those in your contacts, and tell them it's time.
For just $6, unpack the ultimate Christian streaming experience. Dive into life-changing sermons, gripping and heartwarming shows, epic, soul-stirring movies, and spirit-lifting music. Stay informed with up-to-the-minute news and explore powerful, thought-provoking documentaries and docuseries. Ignite young minds with dynamic and engaging youth and kids programs. Alpha TV has everything you need and more.
And for the African audience, Nigeria and the other African community, it is actually 4,000 naira or equivalent. Let's just say $2.50. So kindly check it out. I'll leave the link in the pinned comment.
Subscribe now to get started.
I look at some of the things happening around the world today, and it's a pity that a lot of people are confused about what's right or what's wrong, and then they're making their conclusions on the basis of the mendacious media around the world. How do you listen to those guys and believe you got information? You would make decisions or make your conclusions on the basis of the deception that was created in your head while you were growing up. Because most of those in the Western world and those influenced by the Western world were taught to believe that Russia was evil. And in Christianity, it was the same thing. Christian leaders from the Western world, I mean, if you were a Christian minister, an evangelist or so, and you were from the United States or you were from Europe, you carried this mentality that Russia was basically evil because of the persecution. There was persecution of Christians. There are many stories coming out of there. But it's amazing that in which Ukraine is dragged into a deal with the rare earth minerals. Thank you. The reason for that is not because the United States is trying to cheat them. Those guys are intelligent. It's a deal. If we're going to keep protecting you, we must get something for it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's what it's about.
Yes, sir.
They're not trying to rip Ukraine off. No, it's a deal. We must get something for protecting you. You're a sovereign country. If we're going to fight for you, what do we get? We've given you so much for nothing. We can't keep doing it. So let's discuss as sovereign nations. So we come into a pact. And with this pact, Russia accept our negotiation because now we have a stronger negotiating power because we have a stake. Right now, we don't have a stake.
Yes, sir.
We've given you everything, billions and billions of dollars for nothing. And then we go and negotiate with Putin in your behalf for nothing. We have nothing.
Yes, sir.
So if we come into this pact, then we have a strong voice. That's what Trump is saying. And Zelensky has thought about it. And that's the reason he wants to go sign it. Because there was no better deal. That's why Trump was very sure that Zelensky will come around, because there's no better deal. He gets something for it. Ukraine gets something. We get something. No one is cheated. So you have to understand the details before you go blah, 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 blah. No, just relax. get the information first. Get the information first. When the war started, Russia called it an operation. It was a special military operation of some kind. And truly, it was strategic. In the first 1 week, they had actually done it. And Ukraine was ready to negotiate. In the first 1 week, it was done. Zelensky bowed and said, I'm ready to negotiate. So it was a 1 week operation, it was done. But then Biden and Bojo came together and they said, no way. France, Germany, they said, no way. They convinced Zelensky. They said, no, no, no. Don't negotiate. We're going to help you. Go fight. We'll be behind you. Because they were the cause of the war in the first place.
Yes, sir.
They were the cause of the provocation,
Yes, sir.
in the first place. And I told you. And I didn't need Russian support for what I do.
Yes, sir.
I preach the gospel. I didn't need Russian support to tell you the truth. I just told you as it was.
Yes.
So it's not like I needed elections, and they were going to help me get elected. I just told you the truth. So, not that he miscalculated. He didn't miscalculate. It was not a miscalculation, even though on a bigger scale, he didn't expect the foolishness of the other side, because I call it foolishness. Now they've lost so much. So much. There's almost nothing left in Ukraine. What is this? So much foolishness. But that's like the devil. He lures men into destruction. They lose so much. It destroys their lives. They lose so much. Because they don't have wisdom, the wisdom of God. See?